Okay, so we would like to thank Hoyni at first for organizing this event. We are delighted to be presenting our findings on ensuring access to information for victims. You can find more details on our findings in Chapter 3 of the Action Plan, but due to time constraints, we will try to keep it short today. So my name is Anja Wells. I'm a criminologist and a migration scientist, and I work as project manager at Solvodi in Germany. And I will be presenting together with my colleague Katrin Lehmann, who's a social worker at the Solvodi Help Center in Osnabrück. Just a few words on Solvodi. Solvodi stands for Solidarity with Women in Distress. We are an NGO based in Germany, and our main target group are migrant women in distress. So a lot of them have experienced gender-based violence and are very traumatized. Therefore, we have included a lot of our practical experience into Chapter 3 of the Action Plan. As we have heard already, that access to justice and support services can only be claimed if victims are, of course, aware of their rights. As laid down in the Victims Directive, victims have a right to be understood and also to understand. And providing access to information is sometimes a bit tricky because some victims might have language issues, others might not understand information due to their age or due to a disability. So it's therefore really important that from a very early stage in the criminal justice process, information is given to victims.
Sorry, Anja.
Yes?
Anja?
Yes?
Do you want to show your slides, or you're not showing them on purpose?
I am showing them, actually.
We cannot see them.
Okay.
Sorry.
Probably because I switched to the... Can you see it now?
Yes.
Sorry,
okay. It was very interesting, so please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Sorry for the technical hiccup there.
Thank you.
So where was I? I was saying that, yes, because of the different victims' capabilities of understanding information, it's very important that information is given out really early in the criminal justice process and that the information is given free of charge. And therefore, it's very important because there's a variety of victims that don't understand information that quickly, that a lot of channels are used to give out information. Katrin will begin with showing some best practices that we have identified in the action plan.
Thank you, Anja. First I would like to give you some ideas for telephone and face-to-face counseling and name some examples for best practices. Besides the different kind of offers, a stable and trusting relationship between the counselor and the person being advised, especially during personal and telephone consultation, is very important. Only in this way the information can be accepted. For already existing offers, I can name the Municipal's Victim Support Service in Madrid, Spain, which provides counseling and support during all phases of the process. Among others, they draw attention to themselves through online presence, such as a video you can find online on YouTube. One offer from Germany that has been very well received is the helpline for women affected by violence. In most cases, the people seeking advice are victims of domestic violence. Often women contacting the counseling center of Solvodi, who have previously turned to this help hotline. This offer is not only advertised in the media, but also, for example, you can find information about the helpline in public toilets. Then there can be named the legal advice hotline in Bulgaria, which is also listed among the REJUST best practices. Next slide, please. Thank you. The offer of digital counseling services is very important because it can provide access regardless of location and time of day. In some cases, it can take a lot of effort to get advice by phone or in person. Certain anonymity can get lost in personal contacts. Maybe there are language barriers, or the counseling center is far away and or not easy to reach. Online counseling can offer a good alternative. There's the possibility to ask questions and concerns by mail or chat. It also gives people who feel, for example, great shame due to the circumstances, a safe and anonymous access. Also, the help seekers can take their time and more time to ask questions. Such as online consultation is offered, for example, by victim assistance of the Lower Saxony in Germany. Additionally, there are some websites where lots of information is given. Here I would like to introduce the website InfoVictim, which was created by a project from the European Union. This site is available for different countries and different languages, and this website has information on victims' rights, different stages of the criminal proceedings, and the role of the parties of the proceedings. When it comes to apps for the smartphone, the offers still very rare. Here I can mention the app Domstolsguiden from Sweden. This smartphone application offers insights into courtrooms, videos about court proceedings, explains the role of the parties involved in the legal process as well. And I would like to hand over back to Anja, who will give or show more examples for better access.
Thank you very much, Katrin. So as we said at the beginning, there are some victims that might not understand information due to language barriers. Examples are, for instance, migrants that don't speak the host language, or people with disability, or people with illiteracy. So with regards to migrants, for instance, it's very important to use trained interpreters, which are qualified and also culturally sensitive to support law enforcement officers and also victim support services, as well as police officers, to hand out information to victims orally, and that victims also have the possibility that they're understood by these professionals. Also, flyers with pictograms has proven really helpful from our practical experience. We have had an EU project called Co-Creating a Counselling Method for Refugee Women, short CCMGVV, where we had pictograms designed in a flyer with easy language, so that women that have experienced gender-based violence in the refugee and asylum-seeking context could contact the supporting NGOs, and it really helped them to access the services, because we can see from our numbers that the statistics went up. There are also information videos available. For instance, we have mentioned 2 by the German police in the action plan, which we unfortunately cannot show you today because of time constraints. But they're very short videos showcasing victim rights in using comics and graphics. So that's very helpful to give out easy information. And there are also videos, for instance, from the White Ring Austria, we have mentioned an example where sign language is also depicted in the video. Thank you very much. I'll hand over back to Katrin.
Yeah, so there was only a brief insight. More detailed information and ideas about access to information can be found in the Redress Action Plan. Finally, I would like to point out that those people who have problems in obtaining their own information must be taken into account. For example, because they don't have digital access or language barriers. On the one hand, the expansion of digital access is very important, but other channels should also be used, such as newspapers, radio, television, public consultation, and others. The access should be low threshold. Anyway, these named examples and the advice on what to look out for good access can serve as orientation so that existing methods can be optimized or new ones introduced. For instance, the use of smartphone applications. So would like to thank you again for your attention, and we hope that we have been able to give you a good quick overview and new thoughts.